Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fallible Fandom episode 4. We are already getting through them. Like, it does not really feel like a month already since we started this, but here we are, a month into it. And welcome. Today we got the Xbox X-Men 97, to talk about. And my God, what an episode. Got the Invincible Season 2 finale. And lots of exciting news to be brought up by Flash Week because of all the hard work that he's done this week, and we're very, very proud of him. Right? How are we this week? How are we doing, Liam?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You sound a little bit far away again.
That's not good.
There we go. Back again.
Dodgy mic.
There we go. And Flash Week, how you doing?
I am doing great. I submitted an audition for a video game.
Ooh. Are you allowed to discuss what it is, or are you strictly under talk about it and we'll send snipers?
I'm allowed to, but I just forgot. So.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so let's discuss the news first, right? Because once we get into it, we're going to be here for a goddamn while, especially on Invincible. And on X-Men as well, because that's an amazing show, and I love the Storm and Forge stuff this week.
Absolutely great.
Got to put these on. And even better. Should be able to hear me better now. Okay. Flash Week, what wonderful news do you have for us?
So, I have, well, one of them is for our Invincible talk, but I have two pieces of news. One is the Avatar The Last Airbender live-action showrunner. I actually have three pieces of news. The Avatar The Last Airbender live-action showrunner is stepping down for the final two seasons, and both the exec and co-exec producer will take over.
Did they say why? Like, is there any explanation?
No.
Because that's crazy, because you had like a stellar season 1 as the runner. So it would confuse me as to why you would do that. Unless like he's like, and there's no way like for the next 2 books, like he can be absolutely dead certain that he set his ship on the right course, right? And that it's just going to be smooth sailing the whole way. There's always production problems that like in fires people have to put out and stuff like that. So I feel like something has to have happened because like as talented and as amazing as everybody is, that's what we got, right? That's nuts, man. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be theory crafting. I just think like that's a bit weird. You know what I mean? But you know, if it's done just off his own back, then cool. Good luck in your future projects. You know, I guess.
So, have any of you guys seen Jujutsu Kaisen, the anime?
No.
Okay, it just got named the most in-demand animated TV show around the world.
Really? Is that the one where they got like mammoths and wolves and all sorts of things in their shadow puppetry?
No, Jujutsu Kaisen, it's about like people call it a Naruto ripoff, even though it's completely different. But it has like the curses, and he eats the fingers.
Right, and there's nobody that makes shadow puppets. What's that then?
Shadow puppet?
Yeah, like you know, like shadow things on the wall, and it's like he's doing his fingers, and then it's a mammoth.
I don't know.
That's what there was on the crossover with Fortnite, anyway. So I assume it's a part of the show.
Okay.
That's literally what Jujutsu Kaisen.
Moving on.
Yeah, right.
I just saw something from the incredibly reliable Marvel updates.
Dubious, but please go on.
Marvel Studios plans for Avengers Secret Wars to be on Earth 6. But the plan for it is for Earth 616 to be destroyed, and after Secret Wars, a new universe will be the main base of the MCU. As for the remaining heroes, not all of them will die, and they will find a way to bring them all to the new universe.
Yeah. So that's what we would understand Secret Wars to be anyway, right? Because it's not going to be beyond taking a whole bunch of people and then like doing heroes versus villains. So what is going to be instead is the incursions that are being caused all over the MCU in different universes by people being where they shouldn't be and meddling things and they shouldn't be meddling in. There are holes in the fabric of reality as shown in the Marvels, right? So then reality is going to crumble and everything's going to be bridged together, and there's going to be similar aesthetics as to what we saw in Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. And yeah, that's you've basically just described what happens. So there's a whole bunch of worlds that get broken up, pushed together. There is a giant battlefield for heroes, villains, all sorts of versions of each other to be fighting for just survival, really. And then a whole bunch of stuff happens, which we'll get into when it happens. And then there's like a remaining world, right? So it's like from what I remember, it's quite a few years ago now. Like it's either like the Flash after Crisis.
That's what I was about to ask is because I don't know much about like Secret War or anything. Is Secret Wars basically Marvel's Crisis on Infinite Earth?
No. Yes and no. Yes and no. But basically, it's either a case of there is no multiverse and that's the only Earth, or there is still kind of like a multiverse afterwards, but they just don't know about it. Because like not everybody survives and not everybody is on their native Earth when they're finished.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be really interesting. And it's going to be a good way to get to do a soft reboot, get characters back that we had before that were missing. And different versions of. Do you know what I mean? So we can get an Iron Man that's not Robert Downey Jr., a Captain America that's not Chris Evans, So
next piece of news, I keep finding more. Mandalorian and Grogu will be premiering in theaters in 2026. There's an exact date, but I don't have it here. And Pedro Pascal confirmed to be returning. It's confirmed to be returning. Pedro, sorry.
So it's actually going to be him in the suit then, is it? As opposed to the stunt guy?
Yes.
Because to be fair, because he's not allowed to take his helmet off anymore, and I need him to stick to the Mandalorian code right now. Now that he went through all of that to be legit again in his eyes and in the armorer's eyes, I need him to keep the helmet on. So I don't want the movie to be like, oh, I've gone through this whole journey. I don't need to keep my helmet on when I don't want it. No, that's not who you are, right? You've proven that throughout your whole arc, right? So technically, if they just keep to what they're doing, they really don't need him, and it would be a lot cheaper. But happy they are, right? Love Pedro and Pascal. I'll take him any chance I can get. I'm iffy on Miss Fantastic, but I'd like to be proven wrong.
So next, Daredevil Born Again has finished filming.
Okay.
In New York City, or season 1 at least.
I'm gonna be honest. I was not on the hype train at all with when the show came out. Took some time for me to warm up to the character. She-Hulk really, really helped with that, if I'm honest with you. And seeing him in Echo was really, really cool as well. And I like what they're doing with him. They're making him incredibly acrobatic and agile, right? Not to say that he wasn't in Netflix, but I like what they're doing. I'm excited to have him in. I will always take more Kingpin whenever I can get him. And I think it's nice, right? So everybody made like such a hype, like the biggest hype when Jarvis was there with Howard Stark in Endgame, right? About him being like the first true crossover character, like Shadowman Agent Carter or whatever, or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. And then he comes on to the movies. But then you had people from the movies going to the show, but nobody coming over from that side. And then Jarvis is there. So it's nice that the other shows, like, because there was that whole difficulty with Netflix. So it's nice that there's they're cutting him a break. And then the other actors that put in just as much as hard work as all the other shows get recognition and their chance to be in the spotlight of the universe, right? Because the whole time they were there just on the outskirts, a part of the universe but not a part of it. So it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So connecting to that, apparently Spider-Man 4 is going to be the after effects of what happened in Daredevil Born Again. So it's going to be more street level film rather than what a multiversal film.
Yeah, but they've been saying that for years now.
Which
right?
I've wanted. I wanted to be more street level film than another No Way Home.
I will say that does sound, pardon me, like there's a good chance of Kingpin being the bad guy.
Well, yeah, probably, yeah, because he's a big Spider-Man villain, so.
No, I know. And what I'm saying is he's going to be in Daredevil, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yes, Spider-Man was said to be in Daredevil, right? I think I just saw that.
No. What I'm saying to you is Kingpin will be in Daredevil, yes?
Yes.
Right? And Kingpin being a big Spider-Man villain and the after effects of Daredevil being inclusive in the story of Spider-Man, then there's a higher probability there's going to be Kingpin, is what I'm saying.
They're going to concentrate more on Spider-Man rather than Peter Parker as well.
Yeah, give everybody what they want.
Yeah,
because Peter Parker's great, right? Charming guy, lovely, but I'm here for the man in the suit. You know, I want the swinging, I want the webs, I want the little glidey wings, I want all of it. You know, a little bit sad he's gonna be without his tech. You know, like little web grenades and the little spider maybe, but then we get to really just showcase his natural ability. You know, his preternatural powers. So I like that.
I will say I'm excited to see, because we saw it at the end of No Way Home, but that suit.
The integrated suit.
No, the suit we saw at the end of No Way Home.
The integrated suit.
The one in the, or that what it's called, the one in the post, or in the.
Oh no, shit! You mean the all new the classical new one? The blue,
yes.
Oh yeah, the shiny. Oh yeah. Forgot
they actually have it in Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
I unlocked it, and that's all I'm using.
Yeah. Oh really? I had to go 90s TV show Spider-Man Venom
Really?
suit.
Well, that's
I kept mixing it. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't unlocked all the suits yet. So.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Because I haven't played since like that new update came out. So
dude, I didn't stop playing it. Once it came out, I was constantly on the thing. Absolutely loved that game.
Oh, I need to go back to
game.
it because that game is so fun. But
pardon me, I'm
okay.
Burping all over the joint. Is any of your news the Fantastic Four casting?
Yes.
Good, because it needs to be. I want to
talk about that. I don't have it right in front of me, so I forget her name.
That I want to pull up. I want to pull that up.
But while I pull it up, I will just bring up that James Gunn has debunked the leak that that Ultraman will be the villain. And
can we pull that up as well?
Lex Luthor will be the villain, which I just assumed because he was he was cast. And he has confirmed that 18% of the film has been shot.
18. What a weirdly specific percentage. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's no, like, I'm not saying it, I'm just saying that's weird. That's a weird number. You know what I mean? 15, 20, 30%, you know? Like, to say 18, like, that's so strange.
You see that Sacha Baron Cohen and Isla Fisher are divorcing after more than 20 years.
Really?
We can barely hear you, but no, I didn't.
Apparently, that's to do with Rebel Wilson's memoirs.
No.
About when, I think it was on the set of the Brothers Grimsby.
Yeah,
he said
yeah.
He told it would be funny to stick a finger up his bumhole.
Huh?
So,
a
female Silver Surfer has been cast in Fantastic Four. Julia Garner, who
I want to pull it up.
Phenomenal actress, has been cast as a female. And I already see a video right when I search Fantastic Four casting on Twitter. MCU shows defend female Silver Surfer casting.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me just say this,
Sweet
right?
Jesus.
Right?
I would like to pull it up. You've kept steamrolling, and I've told you multiple times. Can I please pull it up?
Okay, pull it up.
Can you then send it?
Oh, okay.
So would the Silver Surfer be in the next Fantastic Four movie? Does that mean Galacticus is coming?
Galacticus, yeah.
Hopefully,
yeah.
You
what? Sorry.
What? You sent it to me on Twitter. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
You realize we're on StreamYard, right? And I would like to present it to
you. Said to send it to you.
So I could. You know what I'm saying? I keep asking you, can I please pull it up?
Free Dubs, where are
you? I will pull it up, right? Then, okay?
Free Dubs,
where
are you?
Fuck me. Oh my fucking God. Is it just me?
18 minutes.
Is it my life? Is it just me? I feel like it's me. Am I taking crazy pills? What the fuck is life?
It's all about second chances. Fallible.
Fuck.
Fandom.
Yes, it is. And we love everybody.
All right. So I brought this up.
You can zoom in a little bit.
Yep, because you're getting old, so I'll zoom it in for you.
Says the man in glasses.
Right, and it's on your screen. How am I zooming in on your screen? Nothing's doing my age. Nothing's doing my age, son.
Let me just bring this up. MCU shows defend female Silver Surfer casting. Okay. I have seen these same people say, oh, follow the comics, follow the comics, follow the comics. Then when they put female Silver Surfer, who's in the comics, by the way, there's a photo right here, they say, oh, no, that's not okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly that. Good job, Flash Freak. Very well said. Let's actually, to prove a point, right, let's find out. Shala Bal already in the second one. Silver Surfer. Let's find out when she debuted, right, just to prove a point.
See, I didn't know there was a female Silver Surfer. Because I don't know much about Fantastic Four. I've only seen the 2005 movie. And the god-awful Fan Four stick, and I couldn't even get through it all.
Wait, what? You couldn't get through what? The Fan Four stick? What?
I couldn't get through it all.
Why?
It put me to sleep.
Wow.
I did love the 2005 one, though.
I'm just having a quick look. There's so much. There's so much of her story. That I'm struggling to find the bit where she becomes a Silver Surfer, right? Oh wow, Dr. Doom was involved in that stuff. That's crazy.
And we all know Robert Doom being cast as Doctor Doom.
Of course.
He got Dr. Bunyan.
Okay. Okay, hang on. That was no help. All right, let's just do this one. I'm actually. 1968, she was in their comic. She first appeared, and then 2016, I think. At least it has to be earlier than that, right? Because there's even older pictures of her. Okay, yeah, no, that's not it. There was a thing on there talking about White Vision being the Silver Surfer. Yeah, okay, so at least 2016. That would be really interesting, wouldn't it? That'd be really interesting. So at least 2016 of her being as the Silver Surfer. I'm pretty sure that there's even earlier ones. I want to say like at least the 80s, if not later than that, right? Just from the comic book panels that we've seen. But either way, even if they are gender swapping, who cares? Who the fuck cares? Like, is everybody that insecure in their masculinity that they have to kick up a scream? There's this, like the second there's a gender swap, is that I'm somebody's replacement woman. Oh, shut the fuck up and grow up. Do you know what I mean? Grow some fucking balls. Yeah. Be secure in yourself and who you are, and sit in the corner and shut the fuck up. Simple as that. Like, there's a woman playing the Silver Surfer. Who the fuck cares?
Well, and it's not like she's playing a male Silver Surfer.
Who cares, though? Who cares?
I know, but
I'm saying either way. Norin Rad, Shalabal, fucking a pair of Twix. I don't fucking care, innit? Shut up.
Stargirl did it with the Fiddler.
Yeah.
Well, even though they mentioned the male, she was actually the wife of the previous Fiddler. But yeah,
there's a lot of great characters that have been like gender swapped, but it's her own character. She has her own story, her own arc, and she too has been the Silver Surfer. So it's canon, it's legit, it's real. You just have your heads up your fucking asses, sort your shit out. Basically,
and what they could do in Secret Wars, if they don't bring the male Silver Surfer in for this movie too, what they could do in Secret Wars is another universe. They could have the 2005 Silver Surfer come in.
Yeah, just to piss off everybody even more, right?
I just don't see what people's problem are.
Because I don't know. I don't. You can't comprehend them sometimes.
If you don't want to see a female surfer.
Yeah, I know. It's like. By the way, Julia, I forgot what I saw her in last time, but I remember she was very good.
I think she's in Ozark, right? I think that's what I've been seeing everyone saying.
Yes, that's the one. I actually started watching Ozark.
Yeah, it's a dark show, very dark show. Yeah, but yeah, no. So that's basically
it's a
like
good show, though.
That's something that I just wanted to talk about. I just want to tell everyone to shut the fuck up because it's pissing me off.
Shut the fuck up! After all of everything that I read and heard about Madam Web, and then I sat and watched it, and they could all go fuck themselves.
Yeah, right.
Wasn't the best movie out there, but it was enjoyable.
Exactly.
I wasn't bored a moment of the way through that movie.
Exactly. Dakota Johnson also has to sort her shit out because she's also bagging on the movie that she made. Just because she wants to be a part of a clique. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, look, I'm in on the joke too. No, you made it. You made it. Accept that.
Hopefully they
love
do a number
Madam
2
Web.
without her.
Yeah, I think they should recast, honestly. Like, there's nothing to say that nobody couldn't be better, but one, they need to age up people anyway, a little bit, right?
Yeah, because Madam Web's an old lady.
Sandra
Right,
Bullock.
but like, yeah, exactly. Sandra Bullock could do
Oh
very
yeah, you
well.
can do that.
Okay, so we've had a little piss in our moon, so let's get into the good stuff, right? I think Invincible might take a little bit longer. I feel like. So let's do X-Men first.
Yeah, because I haven't seen X-Men, so
I mean,
no. I forgot.
can you see
I was
the
gonna watch
surprise?
it, but I didn't want to. I've been watching Stargirl, and then
the shock on my face that is just almost not telegraphing onto screen. Can you see it?
Well, Stargirl is really
Barely
good.
see your eyes, dude.
What?
He's talking to Darth.
Oh, okay.
He was on about the excitement on his face, and I said we could barely see his eyes.
Yeah, they're gonna get even
let alone
smaller,
any
yeah.
excitement.
I am pretty dehydrated right now because I haven't drank water like in the past couple days.
Okay. So we
I
are
would
here
not
to talk
recommend that,
about this
kids.
this wonderful piece of work. And wow, what a great episode this week. Amazing callbacks, a character returning in Mojo, and then the stuff afterwards, like halfway through the episode with Storm and Forge. Absolutely fascinating, leading into a lot more stuff, which I can't wait to explore. How about you guys? How did you feel about this week?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I was happy to see Mojo again.
Yeah. I was having a quick look now.
I loved the Motendo that looked like a Sega Mega Drive.
It did, didn't it? It had Sega Mega Drive look, and then like Mega Drive and Nintendo graphics, like SNES graphics. It was hilarious. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Classic games in there, like Streets of Rage and stuff.
Yeah. Full of callbacks. Oh my god, it was so good. Okay. Yeah. So now what I'm trying to do, when it's not cooperating with me, is have a quick look at which episode specifically he appeared in.
Mojo.
Yeah, Mr. Mojo. Mojo Vision instead of television. How clever. Series 2, episode 11 in 5th on the 5th of February in 1994. Wow, many moons ago. 30 years ago, dude.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Wow. That is real crazy. Wow, that has just blown me away, honestly. Realizing that. Oh my god. Wow, that is crazy. So yeah, so basically, the previous episode on an alien world ruled by television, an alien named Mojo is master, where he abducts the X-Men and forces them to be action heroes in his shows. So this time, to keep his fans excited, he updates the format and makes it computer games to bring it into like the 90s, basically. A little bit. It does a little bit. A little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Love the episode still.
Right? It was still really good. And I have to say, right, because I sat there and I was like, I'm not a fan of Jubilee. Meh, you know. Still not like a massive fan, but it was cool to hang out with her this week with Sunspot and see the potential progression of her powers, and what they could be, and the fact that she witnessed them and then was like, "God damn it, Arlo!" She witnessed it and then was like, "Oh, like that, I can do that," and then was immediately like, "Right, let's try this out."
Oh yeah. It's nice to see Sunspot use his powers at last.
Finally.
If we want to, I do have one final piece of news I just saw. If we want to go over that.
Okay, are you going to present it or just tell us this week?
I mean, there's nothing to really present.
Okay.
So I'm gonna butcher this name probably. Willimon, who did Andor, will co-write James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie.
I got lost in what you were trying to say. Do you want to try again?
So Willimon, who apparently was the writer behind the Narkina 5 arc and Stellan Skarsgård's speech in Andor, will co-write the Dawn of the Jedi film.
Oh, okay. See, now there's a lot of people that say they don't like Andor because it was too slow for them, or like it's kind of like how I felt about the Monarch show in the Monsterverse. It's like, well, why are we getting this? Like, why do I care? What are you giving me for this?
Mm-hmm.
I did not feel that way. I felt that way like initially, and then once we got into it, I started being like invested in the characters. I have to say, Bill Burr and the prison scene is still some of the best acting, I think, from Star Wars. Right now, I love Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. There's amazing acting all over it. What I'm saying is when you're a fan of everything and like, I don't even know everything, but like when you know so much and you're like with Operation Cinder and like just the fact that like all the younglings and then like what the Empire was just generally doing, and like there's a reason that they are like they were inspired by the horrible people from Germany like 70 years ago, if not longer now. So like they was doing some shit, right? So then when he's sitting there across the table from him, like, and you can see it and you can feel it, like how he feels for what happened to his men. And then the guy is there just like, casual. No, not casual. It's collateral damage, right? And then that's it. He's just there. You can just see it in it, Really, really good. So what the person like Stellan Skarsgård, his character as well in Andor, really, really cool. I got the feeling that he weren't going to make it. Spoiler alert, obviously, but when it happens, you're like, you were one of the good ones, man. Even though you had your darkness, just like the main guy, I forget his name. It's not Andor, is it? Yeah, Cassian Andor. Yeah, fucking he like the Stellan Skarsgård's character had more. I mean, especially because he's the only person in all of Star Wars, right? How long has it been? 50 years now, nearly, right? On the dot. Okay, we're at 47 now, right? 47 years. He's the first person while evading the Empire to actively, second person to actively use a disguise. Third. Right? When he's sitting there and he's doing his criminal stuff, one disguise. And then when he's there doing his day-to-day, different disguise. Like the man is a chameleon, right? The only other time we had that was when they were trying to rescue Han Solo from the Carbonite. And he had Princess Leia dressing up as a bounty hunter and Lando Calrissian and Luke Skywalker dressing up as Stormtroopers, probably. Okay. Still, there's not a lot of dress up in Star Wars, so it's nice to see. It's nice to see. So, what do you say? The person that wrote his speech, and that is that all they did?
That's what the post said.
Okay, so one would hope that they did more in the series than just wrote a speech. Or maybe they're saying it that, and that's the way that's the best thing about what that they did in the series. You know, maybe. Because that's a weird thing to point out. Do you mean? Like, you would just say one of the writers of the show, or a head writer of the show, or something like that. You wouldn't say the writer who specifically did this bit. When is that ever done? Is that just me?
Sorry, got my cat fucking trying to climb out the wall.
Okay.
She's in full on hunting mode.
So yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really looking for. I say I'm really looking forward to Dawn of the Jedi. Let me rephrase that. I, as a Star Wars fan, am excited about Dawn of the Jedi a little bit, right? Because for the most part, I don't see what can be done there that's too exciting. I mean, you're going to have a bunch of people that are going to be disagreeing, fighting in smaller groups until somebody says, hey, let's start a community where we start looking out for people. You know? And then we're going to get like a lightsaber with a proton pack on the back, and then it's going to turn into a handheld thing. I mean, what more do we need?
I'm not like a major Star Wars fan. I'm more of like a casual fan.
Yeah.
Or not, maybe not even that, but like,
I'm
really excited for it.
See, what they could do is they could give us the splintering of the original Jedi. Now, so what they could do, and now what I think they might be doing now that I'm actually thinking about it, is they might be giving us a Dawn of the Jedi movie, right? And then like a little something in between. Maybe the split, we don't know. Because what needs to happen is like a time jump where the people that disagreed with the Jedi go off to Korriban, and they're like, oh, hi, who are you? It's like, hi, we're the actual Sith. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to start doing what you're doing. You know? So if they did that as like a trilogy that's tied in with the Dawn of the Jedi, great. Otherwise, you know, okay, so you know the Tales of the Jedi thing that they're doing, the shorts, like the short movie things. What I'm saying is they could do the Dawn of the Jedi in one of those, and then they could give us a whole like Exar Kun, Frida Nagasato, fucking Darth Bane, Darth Malgus, like they could give so many different like just movie trilogies that are just rich in like conflict and betrayal and scheming and power and excitement and everything. Do you know what I mean? Like all of the stuff that we know the Star Wars universe to be, but in thousands and thousands and thousands of years before it even connects to anything to do with the Skywalker saga. So why like they're choosing to start right at the start, I don't know. I'm excited to see. I will say,
I just can't let it go. That's why.
Yeah. I will say, I think a little bit like the Acolyte, right? So the Acolyte, I was excited for it, like really excited for it when I found out like how far away it is going to be from the Skywalker saga, and then I saw the trailer, and then I was just, oh my god, so much more excited for it. I was just all the way up here with it. So I'm hoping that's the same thing that's going to happen with Dawn of the Jedi.
Fucking idiot cat.
So I had a mum climbing the curtains the other day, unless it's Lilith.
Yeah, it's Lilith, mate.
Oh, then,
she just stuck a claw into the fan on the computer. Just
regretted that one, didn't she?
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. So X-Men. The intro. Okay, so this is something I was discussing with Darren. The fact that Bishop was in the first couple of intros and then made his exit in episode 3, I was like, well,
Didn't Storm make his episode in 3 as well? I don't think she was in the intro either.
I don't know actually. Yeah, no, she was in the intro. Yeah,
I don't think she was.
pretty sure.
I don't think she was in episode 3.
We just watched 4.
Watch. I know, but I'm on about. I don't think Storm was in the intro to episode 3.
Mm-hmm. I think she was.
So, I don't think she was. She was back in this one though.
And Bishop wasn't.
Yeah.
And Magneto was at the start, like right at the start before Cyclops, because if I'm not mistaken, Cyclops was first.
Yeah.
Right, but then now that he's not team leader, Magneto's first, which is really, really interesting. And then he's still there at the end when they do the with Charles Xavier and the with Magneto, you know, and then them running together. So they have really mashed up the intro really, really well. Also showing us stuff from the classic show, revamped and animated to look even better than it did many, many moons ago. So we have Jubilee starting off the episode celebrating her 18th birthday with everybody downstairs and sly remarks with Magneto, him talking about him being in charge and him not making coffee for Gambit. And there was Rogue sitting in the middle of all of it looking as uncomfortable as ever, you know, like Jesus Christ, that can't be comfortable. And then we had that you is it? That you is it?
What?
Snake thongs. Jesus Christ. So then we have Sunspot coming over to help, if he didn't stay over, helping Jubilee celebrate her birthday. And then, as we said earlier, they get transported into a Sega Genesis. Mega Drive. That was it. Excuse me. A Sega Mega Drive looking console, transported in by Mojo, taken into a computer game in Mojo World, I guess. Unless they're in Mojo World. They just changed it. Hard to tell at this point. Either way, Mojo has been getting not enough admiration, support, and attention from his indentured viewers. And then gets Jubilee because Dazzler was busy, apparently, to be a part of the game. And then we have a hacker version of Jubilee that keeps making an appearance, which is her as she's older. And then we get them going through levels. As Liam said earlier, we get Streets of Rage, stuff, Street Fighter looking graphics, you know. And yeah. It really did take me back because I'm still a gamer. I'm an old man, but I'm still a gamer. So seeing like the old style graphics and the platformy stuff, loved it. Really took me back. We get like a conversational drop that Genosha is entering the UN, which is a massive deal. Congratulations to them, because that's just a real big step to safeguarding Homo superiors' rights and safety in the world, right?
That's what you think.
I do just have to say, I did have something come up, so I do have to go in about an hour.
Okay, yeah, we should be done by then. And then Sunspot is crazy paranoid or narcissistic. I still have yet to work out which. When she's like, just use your powers. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting attacked, use your powers. He's like, no, somebody could spot me on TV. And she's like, you really think people are paying that much attention to you? And he's like, yes, they are. Yes. You know? So it's like, is it narcissism? Is it paranoia, a bit of both. You know, like I know being a rich person gets you attention, but Jesus Christ, you know, that's a bit much.
Fancy being that scared of your parents, though.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my mom's great. I couldn't imagine like being that scared that I wouldn't be able to share that with her. We got a wonderful little Matrix Easter egg when Roberto or Sunspot and Jubilee are transferring levels. They use the telephone phone box hack to go in between levels, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, I just want to have a quick cheeky check or something because there was the hacker Jubilee got called something in the subtitles. I just want to have a quick look. Wow. Okay, so basically, Jubilee's character in the game is called Abskissa, or some version of that, right? And apparently, she is actually a comic book character. Wow. So it's literally the Jubilee who become Abskissa. Abskissa was captured by Mojo and taken to the far future. While she's there, she agrees to be Mojo's slave in exchange for agreeing not to interrupt the universal cycle by preventing the Big Crunch. After many years, Mojo brought her back to the past. They captured the mainstream Jubilee and brought her to the Big Crunch. Jubilee was astounded that Mojo had made such an offer and that she would agree to be a slave. Mojo unmasked Abskissa, revealing that in fact she would. And then Wolverine arrived with a large missile to obliterate Mojo. And then Jubilee refused to serve him. At that point, Abskissa, whatever her name is, ceased to exist. Which is really, really cool. So it just shows you how much fun that the show is having with comic book storylines that they might have grown up with, they might have loved and found really interesting, and then now they're getting to make a reality in an animated format. So just the biggest kudos to the creators of X-Men 97. Like, you guys should be really, really proud of yourselves. Keep up the good work. I'm here for every episode you have. And I'm just dying to see more from all of your characters. Absolutely all of them. And you've got just as much as Invincibles, if not more, like just waiting in the wings. And there was a great line by Mojo. He says, "You may have cancelled me, but I'll gut you in the reboot." No, I thought that was very funny, but obviously because of this is the reboot. You know what I mean? He is here attacking them in the reboot. So what he is threatening with is already coming to pass. And then may even come around again. I don't think this is the last we've seen of Mojo, considering he is a multi-dimensional, powerful being that has many, many indentured people working for him. What was that? What was that Silver Samurai chick's name?
Well, the chick with the forearms.
Yeah, at least, right? There was at least 4.
Can't remember.
They were great.
She seems to celebrate at the end when Mojo got defeated, though.
Okay, so in having a quick look to try and find this out, right? So this is insane, right? So already talking about how great this show is, they've done something really interesting. So episode 4 is Motendo / Life Death Part 1. Now, according to IMDb, whether this is true or not, I don't know. The next episode is called Remember It. As Genosha prepares to join the UN, select members of the team head to the island nation to be honorees. Back at the mansion, behind the scenes press event risks airing the X-Men's dirty laundry. Right? So And then after that, Life Death Part 2. Storm is forced to face her worst fears in order to free herself. So
Pretty sure Life Death is a comic book story arc for Storm as well.
It absolutely is, right? So what's really interesting for me and everybody else, I hope, is that the start of this episode, while discussing the celebration of her birthday and like how she wanted to go to an arcade, that Jean, Cyclops, and somebody else, it went rogue, it was somebody else, are off. She mentioned Storm, actually, so I think it's Cyclops and Jean that are at the UN, right? That got teased, right? So there's 3 episodes. They're dealing with one half of something. Give you the tease of the third thing they're dealing with, the middle thing, like as they're dealing with part 1 of like the main thing, right, of the first half. Give you a tease for the second thing. Deal with the first one while spreading that up with like the first part of the third thing. Then they've got what was teased in that episode and then finishing that one off there. Like, it's insane how they're doing all of this. And then week to week, it's going to tell really well. And then when it's all done and you're watching it on a binge, it's probably going to look even better, you know, because it's all going to be like condensed into an hour and a half of what you're watching all in one go, you know. Yeah. I find that fascinating. That's such a strong, interesting choice. Wow. Okay, I'm accidentally reading episodes for the next. Stop it. Stop looking. Stop looking. Take it off. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I started reading spoilers for the next few episodes. So we'll be doing that. So we get Storm and Forge, right? And we get him just taking the time to get to know her, spend time with her where she's not using her powers. And then they're learning each other's vulnerabilities, and she asks him about how he's missing a leg and how his powers work and things like that. So it's a nice little introduction and a way to learn about Forge. Really nice stuff. And then she keeps asking, and she asks like a final time as to why you care so much about fixing her. And he kind of gives an answer that's similar to Robot in Invincible, right? And they are, it's like, it's my job to fix things, you know? I don't feel like that's it. Like, obviously, no, it's obviously not it, because he said why, right? He said why. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So basically, he says that he's half of the reason that why the weapon that took her powers was made in the first place, right? So while he was working where he was working with the government, because they said, like, basically, as you know, Forge can think of something and then make it. And if he can't make it, like, he can make stuff to make it, kind of thing. But he does need resources, right? So the US government was like, hey, you have no resources. We know what you can do. We'll supply you resources. Just help us out a little bit. A part of that help was to fight the mutant threat, which he should never have agreed to, no matter how much he was hurting, because he was a mutant. You know what I mean? Like, that's just so much self-sabotage. So she slaps him after he says, I love you, because she was going to leave, and he was like, I can't let you leave without you knowing this. I need you to know this. And then so she says, you meant to make me a goddess, or meant to make a goddess, but but instead you fashioned a fool. And I thought that was just so insanely, like, that's such a cool line. That's so deep. Like, oh my God, you poor woman. I'm so sorry you feel that way. I completely understand why you feel that way. It's just a massive shame that you do, you know? And then we get the whole demon thing. But I'm back in a second, but have a quick chat amongst, or like you just tell Flash Week or tell everybody, Liam, how you felt about it. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
putting us on the spot, eh? Like I said, I really enjoyed the episode. Flash Freak hasn't bothered watching it again, so he's just gonna sit there as well. So, what have you watched this week, though?
Stargirl, I started rewatching it, and I'm on season 3 already because the episodes are only 13. The seasons are only 13 episodes. I started watching Solo Leveling today, which is an anime, and I haven't watched it yet, and it just ended.
Nice.
Season 1. Yeah.
I've just been super busy.
Are you watching UFC tomorrow?
Yes.
Did you watch BFL yesterday?
No.
Oh, I watched some of it. Well, UFC 300 is next week.
Be watching that as well.
What?
I'll be watching that as well.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good fights.
Yeah, it's the card that
I think it's worth the $80 price tag for that fight.
Ouch.
You just hope Oliveira doesn't miss weight again.
He's a bit of a liability.
He is.
It's the Gagey Holloway fight I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
That's going to be a banger.
I think Robert should join the UFC.
Why?
I think he would do good at it.
No, he wouldn't. He really wouldn't. He's not a conflict type of guy. I think you'll have a better chance in the UFC than we would.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I could have joined. There was a while I was trying to get down to lose some weight, and I would have got to the weight where I could do light heavyweight.
Nice.
Now I would probably be heavyweight. I don't know.
I'm like lightweight. 75 kilos.
Those light heavyweight fights are fun to watch.
Yeah, they really are.
Derek Lewis, is that his name?
Yeah, he's a great one to watch.
He's really good.
He's lost a lot of weight though, hasn't he?
He did. He has. Yeah, the last fight I saw him in, he has.
It's crazy. Where's Darth gone anyway?
I think he said he was going to the bathroom.
Oh, God.
Again. For those who don't know, before the stream started, he sent the link out to everyone to join. When we joined, he was gone, and he was in the bathroom for like 30 minutes.
Nothing like dropping him in it.
I mean, to be fair, I always spend a long time in the bathroom, so I should be talking.
In all fairness, he does have IBS.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know what that is.
It's irritable bowel syndrome.
Oh, okay.
So I put it down to him being lactose intolerant. And
how did I know that was going to be the fucking discussion when I got back? For fuck's sake.
What's that?
Oh my God. I knew that was going to be the discussion. I was it? I know, but I was like, I just knew it was going to be my head. I knew. I was sat there. I was like, they're good for chatting for a few minutes.
Well, I did also say you should join the UFC as a fighter.
You want me to join the UFC?
Yeah.
I said Flash Freak should do it.
I would
have a better chance.
I think he would have a much better chance than me. I fully agree with him.
I am very sure.
I would love to see that. I don't doubt it.
No, like I don't know my own strengths. Like there's times where like I would like use my strengths and I don't know it at all.
Robert's
stuck
in toilet.
For anyone in the stream who wants to see me in the UFC, at Dana White on Twitter, at put Flash Freak in the UFC.
I had to try really hard to just filter and behave myself. I'm so proud of myself. Okay.
Now let it out.
No. I'll tell you later.
What about Dana White?
Sure. So,
He
okay.
has something, isn't he?
Invincible 2 finale. Oh my god, everybody.
Oh my god, okay.
Wow.
I have so much. Here I can finally talk. Okay.
We still got a little bit of the
This
extra to go.
episode was amazing.
Yeah, what was the end of the episode? Was Storm getting kidnapped by the demon,
the adversary?
Right? Yeah,
the demon, the adversary.
Which I left you on, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it. We just got onto UFC and shit.
Fuck, you know. Flash Freak. Damn you, sir.
Bad.
Okay.
What?
All right. I rescind that. I'm sorry. Nothing. You were apparently getting the blame for something that was not your fault. I'm just throwing everything.
Well, you see, I'm always blamed for everything. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you a shirt that just says it was all my fault. Or just it was me, you know. But yeah, so Forge, as well as being a phenomenal mutant and incredibly powerful and intelligent that can basically make any doohickey that comes to mind, right? He is also a guardian for Native Americans in that he fights demons and protects this reality from supernatural threats. And the adversary who feeds on despair, loneliness, and heartbreak felt Storm, felt a hunger, and went and gone and got it. So then now, Forge is going to have to rescue her. But according to IMDb, we're going to have to wait 2 weeks to find out. Ah! But it's okay. It's okay. When it happens, it'll be happening. It'll be great.
Now Invincible season.
All right, Invincible.
My God.
I loved this episode, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. I have some questions, mostly. So I'm confused on how they're doing the multiverse. So are they doing it more like the MCU, where basically every timeline gets turned into a different Earth? Or are they doing it more like DC, where every Earth has its own timeline kind of thing? Because we saw when
they are the same but have their own timelines as well.
Because we saw when Mike got rescued by the Guardians, they seemed like the way they were talking that they were the Guardians from his Earth, but from the future. Was that maybe still a different Earth, just one very similar?
It would have been a different Earth because Mark wasn't there. It would have been Mark's Earth, but where he disappeared, it was his. Yeah. I mean, it just took him 20 years to create the technology to find him.
Yeah.
But basically, had Adam Eve tell Mike, "I love you," and she said, "Go back to your Eve and tell her either you love her or you don't." So,
that's true, and that is very far down the list.
Well, I'm not going in order here.
You are very excited to jump in, aren't you?
Yes. So, I didn't notice this at first until I saw it on Twitter that we got a Fortnite cameo. So maybe when he went to that universe, maybe playing him in Fortnite is actually canon to the show, because that's what he was doing, is the Battle Royale when he was gone in that universe. And then we got Josh Keaton, of all people, from the Spectacular Spider-Man, the voice Agent Spider. That was
all over the place, dude.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I am. And you're going to deal with it because... And then the last thing, right?
See, that button also works, right? And then he sits there and says, I have to deal with it. But then what he doesn't realize is, I am God.
We got the Batman cameo. I can do this all day.
Can you?
I can.
Can you? Can he?
Apparently not.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Come back, Flash Freak. I'm joking. Come on back. Come on back. Welcome back, sir.
Now carry on.
Now carry on. Crack on.
Me?
Yeah, go nuts. Go nuts.
Well, that was it. That Batman cameo was it, and that's the end of my excitement. But going over the episode in order, so because
I was more
you know what
excited.
it kind of reminded
about
me
the
of
Spider-Man
was
one.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of how Despero in Armageddon went to kill Barry because he saw that Barry was actually evil or was going to turn bad. This really reminded me of that, because from his other memories, he sees Invincible going bad.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit different now. I see the line you're drawing, right? But in my head, it's different because, like, Despero was just seeing a vision of something and is just assuming shit, right? Instead of like paying any attention to what was happening or even like checking on the situation or whatever. You know what I mean? Angstrom Levy, who I will no longer be calling Armitage because, oh my god damn, right? So they gave this man small little teaser intros and like bits throughout the season, right? So, and then just kept us waiting the whole time, right? So it's been ages since we've had him introduced, right? And then I've just kept forgetting his name the whole time, right? And this episode, boy, did they make sure that you remembered it. Wow. Sterling K. Brown, yet again, coming in with an intense and an insane performance. The guy is just such a good actor, man. It's like he doesn't even need to try. It really is. Like, it just oozes off the guy, man. He's so cool. But wow, Angstrom Levy. Yeah, so like the difference is like all of the realities he dealt with Mark's brutality and then got saved right before their lives were taken, right? So it's something that I will be coming back to later on, but since you jumped ahead, I'll talk about it now quickly, is that he is fighting with other versions of himself. Do you know what I mean? Like, which is really, really cool. But it's less of like he knows Mark's not an evil guy. He knows that. You know what I mean? He wants to see if he can push him to make him that, but he knows he isn't. So that's the difference between him and Despero. Like, Despero just saw a picture and not all of one, and then tried to kill somebody because of it. You know? But I do see the lines you're drawing for sure. Okay. So we start the episode with Nolan beating up some robots and showing that he is fit to stand trial for abandoning Earth and not getting it to bow down to Viltrumite rule. And yeah, then it cuts out, and then we get a funny scene with a jogger at the start, right, with the title card of the Invincible thing, like every week. It was
blue
nice.
and black, by the way.
It was blue and black. Yes, it was. Flash Freak, probably rightfully so, thinks that the new suit for Mark will be coming next season. I would say maybe. I'm probably in the back half, maybe. I don't think he's going to start the season with it. I think it's something that he will get for sure. Whether they choose to wait for season 3 or 4 is yet to be seen. Probably 3, you know. Got to keep the fans interested somehow, right?
Has it already been renewed for season 4?
4, I don't know. But yeah, so I said it was nice having the funny scene with the jogger because we see Mark landing as the jogger is about to say you'll feel invincible if you push through the wall and hit the runner's high, you know. And then we see Mark landing and then him going in the house. So it's nice that we get a nice funny moment because once we're in that house, shit starts going crazy, like real crazy, real deep. Like it's nuts. Okay. So we have Mark and Angstrom Levy. Angstrom Levy's holding Debbie and Oliver hostage. Mark's trying to save them as he does. And yeah, just this whole episode, right? So what's crazy as well, okay, is Marvel. You would think Marvel would be the one to take like the biggest swing for the whole multiverse stuff, right? And then Multiverse of Madness came out, one of my favorite projects from the MCU, and wasn't that much multiverse in it, right? And then you get Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which just puts that whole movie to shame with the multiverse in it. And then like Everything Everywhere All at Once already put the MCU to shame with their movie. And then Across the Spider-Verse comes out and gives us even more multiverse. And then this episode of Invincible gives us a great amount of multiverse, a phenomenal amount. The first being some really posh dinosaurs. Some adorable, snobby dinosaurs. It was really weird. Like one of them's like, egad, it speaks. You know? I was like, what? I would have been happy with just talking dinosaurs. And then they added that nice little spice to it, you know, that was just random as hell, completely unnecessary and fun. You know?
It was hilarious. Especially when they called it the talking primate.
Yeah. So then something interesting that I brought up on Darren's stream, I'm not sure if I brought it up on ours, is that like how many Olivers are there, right? And then so Angstrom says that he hasn't encountered an Oliver in the Earth that he's visited, right? Now we have to assume that their Earths are infinite, right?
I think across the multiverse, our Mark is the only one who said no to Omni-Man.
No.
He?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
It's the only one we've seen so far, though, isn't it?
So far, but there are talk about this, yeah. Which is why I questioned, like, if there were other Olivers, because there's other Marks that said no, other Debbies that have said no. So there would have been other Omni-Mans that would have left the planet as well. Do you know what I mean? So then, like, because of how big space is, not every space is going to be twisted in the same way. So Omni-Man's trajectory is going to be different maybe on every time he leaves. So he's not always going to Thraxa or whatever it is. So the fact that we've got like one Oliver, real interesting. And then Angstrom, we just see what a disgusting person he is, in the fact that he's throwing around an infant, just throwing him around like he's a hostage, and he's throwing him around, you know. So, which ties into something that's brought up later, in all of the other most of the other timelines. Mark is evil and Angstrom's a good guy, and then as Debbie says, like, this is why you're upset, is because you're in the reality where he's the hero and you're not. You know, like, you're trying to save the multiverse, that's fine, but the ends don't justify the means. You know what I mean? Which is like why the Viltrumites keep getting turned down and why they're the bad guys too. Because even if they are saving shit, they do not do it the best way. Okay, so then we get something that Flashbreak brought up earlier, in that Josh Keaton, the Peter Parker and Spider-Man from the Spectacular Spider-Man series in the early 2000s, reprised his role as Agent Spider fighting Professor Ock or Prof Ock. And then Invincible comes flying through the portal, accidentally hits Prof Ock, and apologizes, assuming that he's the good guy just because he's an old man. And Spider-Man's a bad guy because he sat there with red glowing eyes on, which I thought was adorable and really funny. Because I actually saw a Star Wars video recently about the same sort of thing, where there was like an evil Sith guy getting away with everything because he had a blue lightsaber. And they're like, "Oh, Master Jedi, it's good to see you." And then he pulls out a red one. They're like, "It's a Sith, get him." And he's like, "No, it's blue. It's blue." So don't judge people on their appearances is what's very important from this episode. Or just what they tell you, okay? Because that's definitely going to come back up, right? Because Angstrom said, like, "I'm stronger," right? Somebody heard that, and then things got kicked up a notch. So maybe don't believe everything somebody you're fighting says. So we had that wonderful cameo, right? So we're already like not that far into the episode, and we're already 2 multiverse scenes in, right? And Flash Week, I tried making a note of each of the multiverse scenes. So when you hear the Fortnite one, or what you think is the Fortnite one, please shout out. Let me know.
Yeah, it was the gun, the flamethrower. And even you could tell, or at least to me, that the art style on it looked different than the Invincible art style.
Okay, so we'll get to it in a bit. But I don't have one written down that says flamethrower.
Well, I don't know if it was a flamethrower, but it was a weapon.
Why say flamethrower?
It looked like a flamethrower.
Just fire. That was just a fire scene. Okay. All right, we'll get to it. Okay. Not that far. We don't go far. It's just because I noted it at the end, so I made sure I had space. Okay, so I sat wondering during the episode, like before the bit where Angstrom was like wigging out because Debbie was talking about like Mark's clearly the good guy. Is Angstrom fully in charge? You know what I mean? Like, is there one person driving the wheel? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was him.
Yeah, because there's like minimum 10 dudes in there in his head.
Still got to be him. It's his will that's pulled through it all at the end. So
yeah, like they're all in him kind of thing. Okay. So is he like he's fully in control of his powers, right? So at the end of the episode where he kidnaps Debbie in the last one, right? Like you see him going through like 4 different portals before he gets to the one that he needed to. I now don't understand that, right? Because when we first saw that, in my head, what they were telling us is like leaving your reality and going like wherever, right? You can't go to an infinite number of stuff, right? It's literally this reality is next to this one, and if you want to get over there, there's a path you got to take, right? That's what I thought they were showing us. But then in this week's episode, they're just teleporting all over the place, and he can just send him wherever he wants. So I don't know. What's your dog's name, Flash Week?
Charlie.
He sounds like a happy little chappy.
No, he's getting time for him to eat, so
huh?
He's hungry.
Okay. I don't mind go feed him for a second. It won't take
Well,
long.
I should probably go anyway.
Oh my god, you're gonna leave us. You're just gonna fully abandon us, you horrible, horrible man.
So I will see everyone next week.
I'm gonna cry
Oh,
the
yeah,
second you
next week.
leave.
Well, I might
Oh,
leave.
I know,
Oh,
I
boy.
know. I'm sorry.
Just terrible.
Awful.
Who the fuck was that guy?
I don't know.
Right. So Angstrom, let's see how full control. Angstrom is many people in one since the accident, and is he unraveling? Clearly so when he's sitting there and can't even remember which mark he's dealing with for the most part. Hey Thunderbolt, welcome home. So then we get to see another mark. This one's evil. And he kind of has like a black and yellow bee costume. Hey Thunderbolt. And this mark's just a dick, isn't he?
Yep.
Just a real dick.
They all pretty much seem to be.
See, some of them seem kind of normal though. You know what I mean? Like the one we got early didn't seem too far different from the mark we got, right? And then you got this mark who really seems to enjoy the whole cat and mouse of it. And then really just unaliving a child just straight in front of the parent.
Oh, that was mad.
That was fully disgusting. It's like, whoa. Very, very different to the mark that we know and love. Okay, so another thing, right, is later, I can't remember if it was before this or after, right? But that, so there's a point where Debbie's talking to Oliver and she's like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And then Angstrom was like, you don't know that. Don't lie to the child, right? And then when we have Evil Mark, we have Angstrom talking to Angstrom Jr. and Angstrom Jr. saying the puppy Chainsaw is scared. And then Angstrom says, or is about to say, you tell Chainsaw everything's going to be okay. But then before he's even finished that, Evil Mark's in the building, ripping the roof off and has his hands around Angstrom Jr.'s neck. So like him lashing out at Debbie, it kind of made me wonder if that was more of an internal conflict, you know, like if that was something that he was yelling at himself.
I don't know. Proper done Debbie in.
Yeah.
So the guy was just an arsehole.
He is.
It's like Debbie said to him though. He didn't like it that he was the bad guy in that universe and not Mark.
Yeah. And there's a line where she says, "My son isn't a killer," and then Angstrom looks her in the eyes and says, "Are you sure?" And then, so then Debbie shows she's a badass and consistently fights back against her kidnapper and really kind of abuse her since he attacks her, you know. But fights back and so okay. So and then also it gets said, right, in a lot of dimensions, Debbie joins Mark and Nolan, right? Which I like, and then like this is on the rewatch, I've written notes for it, right? And then so when I watched it the first time, saw the post-credit scene. So then when I watched it the second time and I heard that little nugget of information, I was sat there, I was thinking, is that like a hint for the post-credit scene, which we'll obviously get to, but like, is that a hint? Is that telling us to like open up our little brain a little bit, you know, to the possibility? So then after just being sent left and right and up and down in all sorts of different dimensions, Mark comes home and sees Debbie with a broken wrist. Like the guy just fully snapped it. So we can see that he's stronger than a human, but he's not Viltrumite strong, you know. So Mark comes home, sees Debbie's arm broken, and then just sees red. Like he goes off. Like I think Angstrom knew he fucked up, right? The second like because Mark came in, pushed him back a little bit or whatever, and then was like, saw his mum, and then Angstrom kind of looked down at his mum as well, and then looked at him, and there was a part of him that just kind of went, shit, you know.
Dumb fucked up.
Yeah, you do not fuck with a guy's mum. So, also during the fight, Angstrom's there doing all sorts of like, because Mark says, "You leave my mum alone, bang, 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 don't threaten my family." But it's still not quite like a rag to a bull yet, kind of thing, right? There's still like a shred of it left. And then Angstrom shows that he's not like a regular human. He is stronger. He's been made stronger by all sorts of doctors and enhancements. So, and he starts hitting Mark and hurting him. So the Mark's like, oh, okay, so he can hurt me. So he's a bit stronger, so I can cut back a bit, cut loose a little bit. Turns out, yes, but not as much as he did. Because Angstrom was just messing Mark up, giving him interdimensional punches after interdimensional punches, sending him all over the place, right? And then he also just kills bystanders. Just pew pew, 2 dudes just gone. Who knows where? You know, assume dead. The guy is not a hero. He's there talking about, I'm here to save the universe, the multiverse. I'm here to save all worlds. You're just killing people walking past. What side are you on? You know? So then,
It's out to cause chaos.
He really is. He really is a bit like Havoc. So yeah, so like he shows Mark that he can take a hit, right? And then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna go kill your mom and your brother or whatever. And then that's when Mark is like, you're not going to keep threatening people I love. You're not going to threaten my family anymore. And like Darren said before, that he thought some of the fights in Invincible reminded him of Dragon Ball Z. Like, if any fight before reminded him of Dragon Ball Z, this episode should be reminding him of Dragon Ball Z. The rushing that Invincible did, knocking Angstrom all over the sky, was insane. And then gets him down on the ground and then just starts wailing away. And then that's when I was waving at the TV. I was like, right, he's done. That's it. And he kept going and going and going. And I'm like, you're done. Stop now. And then just kept on going. And then boom, red all over the joint.
How do I get home?
Yeah. And then, so basically, yeah, as we were saying, like he gets stuck on this random reality because he killed his only way home initially anyway. And then we get as Flash Week was saying, we get Atom Eve and the Guardians turning up 20 years later from Mark's timeline, which does lead to the question of are timelines separate realities also? So basically, what happens to the timeline is what he's asking, right? So will future Atom Eve and Guardians, will they just disappear? Will they be living off in a reality that is now separate to what our ones will be getting because of the whole grandfather paradox, the whole time loop thing? So like they come from a different path, give him this at this point, which means that he'll now be over here. So then he's going to be on that trajectory, which is separate to this one. So it depends how they're going to do that. And like Flash Freak, I am very interested to know how they're going to handle that. But at the moment, I'm kind of dealing with the idea that it's an infinite multiverse. So the answer is both. And there are going to be, as is shown now. Hello. How you doing? that are going to be. Hello, would you like to get past? Because you just sat right in the way. Good girl. Good job. Such a pretty baby. There are other Earths that are going to be able to deal with multiversal travel. So, even though Angstrom Levy is dead, and like they got as many Angstrom Levies as they could to fit into that one Angstrom Levy, there might be others, but multiverse travel is still a viable option. So all of the evil marks that we've seen can still play a role in future storylines. So thank God for that. So what I asked for last week is that if they do kill Angstrom Levy, they need to leave the multiverse still open, because the small stuff that we got with each of the evil marks, yes, it's nice to see a quick glimpse of something that we could have, but we need more than that. We need
the
more
twins
than
be
that.
able to use the multiversal travel.
The Mauler twins?
Yeah.
Yep, I would say so. Yeah. It's a good
They'll
shout.
probably be the next ones with that technology.
That's a real good shout. I love those dudes. I actually have a gold 1-star Mauler twin on my Invincible guarding the globe game. Guarding the globe game. Fuck. And then Eve, as Flashwick was saying, tells Armark to say, I love you, I don't love you, just absolutely anything to the Atom Eve of the present, who is just hanging on, just waiting for him to see her in the way that she sees him. Which is a little bit sad.
For that. We're waiting for it since season 1.
Yeah. So also we got an answer to show that Monster Girl's going to be okay. Since 20 years later, she's still rocking. You know, she's still kicking.
It is the monster now. It doesn't transform back.
I don't know, but she's still alive, so that I'm happy.
Well, yeah, the monster doesn't get younger. It's just herself.
Yes. But like, say for example, there is going to be a point that if she keeps making that decision and transforms back, she's going to end up an infant. So, like you said, has she stayed that way or no? You know, or like, is there a fix that like Robot found?
Yeah. I was going to
Speaking of,
they spoke about it, didn't they?
Yeah, and speaking of, right? So, like, you know, we were saying like how Rex and Rudy are both Rexplode, right? The crazy thing is like on the Earth where I noticed it, like it was Robot, right? And then Robot says, "Oh, so I noticed you didn't listen to the briefing when I said don't like spoil the timeline, right?" After he takes his helmet off, and then instead of saying like, "Oh," and then okay, Rudy, right? She says Rex.
Weird.
Yeah. So, like, does that mean that like Rex ends up in Robot's body? I don't know. Interesting. Real interesting.
Where's Rudy then?
Rudy, I don't know. So yeah, as Mark gets home, he starts going full Lady Macbeth and seeing blood all over his hands and feeling the guilt over his actions. And rightfully so. He has just taken a man's life, whether that person was threatening somebody in his family or not. Like, justifiable homicide is still homicide. You've still taken somebody's life. That's still massive and significant, right? So I think it's really good that he's feeling the weight of what he's done. I think if he just kept saying, "Oh well, I think I did the right thing. I feel like I did the right thing." Hi, baby. I feel like I did the right thing, and then brush it off. I feel like that would be too cheap, especially because how much he's been saying he's not his father. You know, Because his father always believed he was doing the right thing. That was the problem.
Yeah.
You know? Sorry, just quick hello to Taya. Hi. I love her so much. She's so cool. Hi, baby. Okay. So that was really interesting seeing about that. I really don't think that's going to be brought back up again. So, you know, not the blood on the hands thing, the Rudy thing, but the blood on the hands, that's definitely going to be coming back up. And if he, yeah, for real, it really has, because he ends up quitting college as well because he wants to be better, he wants to do better, train, and to make sure that this never happens again, because that's not who he is. That being said, considering that the Viltrumites are coming, I don't think he's going to have a choice.
No, he's not.
You know, it's like you know, who's the better leader? Like the leader who wants to lead or the leader who doesn't and understands the responsibility of it. Yeah. You know, because they don't want that responsibility. Like they know, like how much it entails. You know, and then somebody who wants to lead might also understand that, but like might get lost in it and then not fully be able to achieve everything they want to. Yeah. So,
I didn't realize it was 1:15.
Oh my God, we got Kate back. Thank God. Right? It was 50-50, given the fact that we know that the show doesn't always go 100% comic book accurate, as we know with Debbie's changes. I think Amber has a little bit of a change as well, and Will or Rick. So it was 50-50 whether they were going to keep her having a safety cape or not. Thank God they did, because now
did you just say that bang outside them? No, just me.
So like there's a difference between having a safety cape and then like just cracking on, right? And then needing the safety cape because it actually happened, right? You're at the point where you ran out of lives. Your game was nearly just over, you know? So I think there's a chance that it could make like her, like Invincible and Rex, it could make them a more cautious hero, you know? This year really has been like
vicious
and shattering and defining for all of our characters. God damn. Because like even Eve had that whole thing where she tried to help people and then injured people. You know, everybody's going through some real shit this season. God damn. So yeah, Kate's alive. She goes to see Invincible. And then like we're shown around Invincible's little log cabin because he's supposed to be Abraham Lincoln, right? Obviously, hence the stovepipe hat, you know. And then we also saw a golden cup, which made me question, like, is that supposed to be the Holy Grail? Is that what they're trying to say? Because that's the only golden cup that I know that shines. You know? And I'm pretty sure he's not that old. I don't know. I'll have to check on that, actually. That's actually
over 1,000 years old.
Huh. Well, it may well be then. It may well be. Wow. Okay. That's insane.
Crazy, I know.
Real crazy. I love this show, man. I love this show. It's so cool. So then we get great little callbacks. Like for instance, in episode 2 or 3, I want to say 2, where Mark says to Nolan, like, I've always wanted to do what you do. I want to do what you do. I always have done. I want to be just like you.
Yeah.
And this is after so long of him saying, I'm not my dad, after going through so much. After last week, nearly passing out and dying to prove his point that he is not like that man. And then rages out and then just straight kills the guy next week. So much happening. So much happening.
But in Mark's defense, I would have killed that guy as well.
Oh, for real, yeah. 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 For real. Yeah. So then Nolan and Alan meet in jail. A plan that I said was going to happen, and by God, did it happen.
Yep.
I loved it. It was great. And you're right. I think they would have struggled if they didn't have Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
I said I was a little bit like unsure of the casting when I first said about it, but you said no, I'm all in already. And then you're right. Like, I genuinely can't imagine anybody else at this point.
Nobody could ask her to voice Alan.
No, because he's got like the charm, the childishness, like all of that, but then the deep and the gravel side of it as well. So it works really, 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 really well. So then Alan's trying to get Nolan to help in the fight, as he is now an enemy of the Viltrumites, because they don't see him as one of their own anymore. At least not a proper Viltrumite, because he sees
soft.
He's gone soft. He sees the trauma and suffering of lesser beings, and it bothers him, and he wants to do something about it. Markings of a hero, especially somebody in his position with his power. So, yeah, he's pretended to be something for so long that, like, now he's like he is actually that person.
Yeah,
like Ricky Stenicki.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, this show is so good, though. They've done it so well.
Yeah, they really, really have. I love every minute of it. Like, they got through so much, and then it was like half an hour's done, and you're like, wow, I still got like a whole show to go. And I was like, where else can you take me this day? Jesus Christ. And now we've got to wait so goddamn long till the next bit.
I know. That's crazy.
What I know, right? And then especially because of last week when they gave us that meta joke, and they're like, so sometimes we even cover faces, and then, or like, we cut and the person's not fully on screen, so they could do great stuff and
great fight scenes later.
Great fight scenes later, and then the next episode, what do we get? Something amazing. Like, we're going to count the universes in a minute. We're going to get to it. We're nearly at the end of the page. We won't be much longer. So Alan's trying to get Omni-Man to join him in his plans to fight the Viltrumites. He says no, but he's going to come around because he misses Debbie.
He misses his wife.
The future's Guardians say, Mark, I'm really interested to see what he become. That everybody's scared of Mark on a bad Mark on a normal day. What the hell did he become? They're like, oh, you did survive, but you wouldn't have liked what you became. What does that mean?
I reckon he went insane there by himself for 20 years.
But can you imagine what that looked like? I'm imagining like Skeletor, or like some kind of galactic space villain, like that's all muscly and hot pants or something. There's just like some weird 80s shit. Like, I'm imagining full craziness, not just Mark on a serial killer rampage. I'm thinking wacky. And I want to know. That's where I am. I'm in wacky central. Then we get Cecil. He tries and fails. No, Cecil. Excuse me. very two different names. Cecil tries and fails to comfort Mark. And he keeps trying to drive the point home that you are not your father. But all Mark has to say in response is that you weren't there. And nobody was there. No one's going to know. They were in an isolated reality. And yeah, he cut loose because he was threatening his family. And so we need to.
Stringy said that he was stronger.
Yes, right. But like, there was a point where he knocked him down to the ground, right, and he weren't near him, right, and there was blood all over Mark's face. He should have stopped then.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if like he said he's stronger. That's when he should have stopped. But then dove down on him and still kept wailing away. Like he went way too far. And as he said, this is what I love about this show as well, is they don't stick with the bullshit. It's straight honesty from the main character, right? Like he sat and worked through the whole thing. Like not even like he didn't finish. He just didn't bullshit himself, right? At first he was like, I needed to kill him. And then he's like, well, no, you didn't. I wanted to kill him, And then like he won't allow himself to lie to himself. He's like, no, I meant to kill him. He said he was stronger, but I wanted to see if I could hurt him. And I did, And I just love that realism from Mark because he won't cut himself any breaks. He won't. Like, because anybody would in that situation. You know what I mean? You're in their spandex fighting giant kaiju monsters in the sea, aliens from outer space, and tiny little sequid things that, like, take control of people and shit. Do you know what I mean? You're living a sci-fi life. The lines are grey, But then
Bound to be casualties along the way.
There are still hard lines of black and white. And one of them is that Mark should have stopped, And that's why he's like, boom, this can never happen again. But as we know, down the line, that poor guy will have to kill again because he is going to be in a fight for his life. So,
numerous times.
Yeah. So after that, we get Rudy and Amanda, Monster Girl, having a talk. And he apologizes, and it's adorable because he does not know how to communicate. He does not know how to human because the guy's just basically grew himself in a test tube, and then stole his co-worker's DNA because he didn't want to be a test tube baby no more.
Smooth.
And then she forgives him and says, look, just communicate, right? I say to everybody, communication is the key to life. Communicate, no chance for nonsense. If you communicate open and honestly, all the better for it, right?
Yeah.
And Amanda agrees and just says, talk to me. I'm not one of your toys that you tinker with. I'm a person. My problems are mine to fix. And if you want to help me, you can help me. But like, don't make that all that I am. I'm a person behind the problem. And then they talk about another date, which is really sweet. And then I wrote down, Mummy returns, because we get the what you reminded me of this with the guy that went excavating in Egypt, one assumes, right? And found the sarcophagus with the demon guy in there. And yeah, his whole thing is that he has to possess a male to escape. And the last male that he possessed was somebody that got trapped in the tomb. So then they were both trapped in the tomb.
Straight away as well. That was hilarious.
Yeah. And then, and then now his daughter's gone to find him with her friend, who is also a woman. So then when this guy bursts out of his tomb again to escape, he's shit out of luck because it's two women. And one of them's super strong as well. So she might be able to give him like a demon punch right in the face. So who knows? I still really want to know who her grandmother and her mother are.
Yeah.
A job for next week, I guess.
Maybe.
Mark flies and goes through some shit. Or goes through some stuff, is what I put.
Daily just.
Yeah. So I thought there was some kind of traveling involved from the way that like the colors were flying off of him, the speed that he was picking up. Like when you're the Flash, Superman, stuff like that, and he's crazy fast, right? So I thought like something like that, like what happens to them is going to happen.
Yeah.
Turns out no. But still, you know, it was really, really cool to see. Because I thought that would be a really interesting way for like multiversal marks to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like if everybody like ran through their worlds, right, or whatever, and or like there was a few of them where everything kicked off to like some super insane degree that they were like, right, let's go see what's on the other side of realities. And they destroyed all the tech. Then them flying around would be a great way to do it. But you know, take what we get. We'll take what we get. And then Debbie and Mark have a wonderful chat in their usual spot, which is on the smaller roof of their house. And she tries to do the motherly thing and cheer him on. But he says, no, I need to quit school. I need to be better. I need to do better. No more. And she didn't really have an answer to that other than, okay, really.
What can you answer?
Yeah. And then Mark and Eve chat, and instead of saying something like Adam Eve asked him to do, Adam Eve in the future, he punks out, says nothing, and they're just going to carry on as normal. Alan plans to get Nolan out of prison, who misses Debbie, and he sat there lamenting on his choices and sees the ramifications of what he's done, and he's disgusted with himself, as he should be.
Right.
He's also like disgusted by himself for being disgusted with himself, which is an interesting thing.
Because it's not the Viltrumite way.
Yeah. So it's like you're getting brownie points, but you're also losing a couple. So
That's it.
yeah, he's on the road. He's on the road to being a better guy. That's what's important. As long as you're on the road, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because he was off the reservation. He was way off all of it. A whole different planet that guy was on. Okay, so a quick rundown of the Earths that we visited, right? So we had our world that we were on, right? Dinosaur world, Spider-Man world. What looked to me like the first alternate world that we visited when season 2 started, where Atom Eve got her neck snapped but not broken. So that's 4, right? The Evil Bee looking Mark, where Angstrom Jr. got, right? So that's 5. A retro kind of suit where he does the whole dive down and then all of the Earth comes up, 6. The police head popper, where he, like, oh my god, that was a Mortal Kombat move, right? So where he goes through those 2 police and then grabs the one at the end. Like Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat, literally press down, back, forward, Y, sorry. Like he literally just like floats through dudes, right? And then like he'll, if you do it as a brutality, you don't even get to do fatality because when you go through them, they explode. So like the game's over. It's great. Police head popper, that's 6, right? The Mark that flies by with his dad, 7. Head chopper as he goes on past, 8. Zombie, 9. Sat around a campfire, 10. Caveman, 11. A dark dimension where Mark's fighting this big alien-looking dude. Was it 11 or 12? 12?
12.
Batman, 13. Right? A Mad Max one, 14. A Future Tech one, 15. A place where everybody has giant earpieces, 16. So a return to the caveman universe or another one, right? So either a return or 17, and then a return to an apocalyptic world or it's another one. And then there's 3 more that flash up while Angsham's fighting Mark before we get to the last place where Angsham dies. That's a lot of multiverse to fit into an hour.
20.
Yeah, considering that, like, potentially, yeah. So potentially 20 of them where we spent, like, a significant amount of time in some of them as well. Like, and it ties into the story in what they're doing in a great way. It all made sense. None of it felt like, oh man, they've just whacked this one in, didn't like just to keep this going. You know, it didn't feel drawn out. It felt perfect. I have to say, I'm really, really torn because I was saying, like, the first season one, fantastic, right?
Yeah.
An absolute classic that everyone's going to remember for a long time. But this one was intense as hell. It was deep as shit. Like, all of the great action, like, from the first one, like, but different, you know? It was just so good. It was so good. They've done such a good job. And they really have earned the benefit of the doubt for season 4 and everything else going forward. I'm just here for
aliens to deal with next season as well.
Yeah. The Viltrumites, and then a whole bunch more. I mean, that multiverse stuff I don't think's finished just because Angsham's dead. But yeah, I'm super here for all of it. Is there anything
that hive alien thingy to do next season?
Yeah, the little Segwit dudes.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the Viltrumites didn't turn up to Earth towards the end of the season. And they deal with that other invasion first.
Okay. Because, like, in my head, like, if they don't deal with that quick, like, that's going to be, like, irreparable damage. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, you remember, like, in the Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Like, where it's, like, they're dead under the stars, you know, and they're like, they can't hear you. I'm worried that that's might be what the Sequids are like. But then we had the machine that got it off, so I don't know. They just had to build a planet-sized version of one of those. So, anything else that jumped out on you from the episode before we head off?
Not off the top of my head, no. Ready for my bed now.
Fair play. Thank you, everybody, stopping by. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Flash Freak.
It's a pleasure as always.
Thank you to my one and only. I love having you here, always. You are the light of my life and always will be. Thank you, Tyler. I don't feel that way about you, but always nice having you here.
Who is Snake Fox, anyway?
That's Tyler.
That's
Tyler. Yeah. Apparently likes a snaky thong up his ass.
Is that why he likes Ben?
That's not you.
No.
Oh, I thought you said that was you. Oh.
It's not me.
Who is that then? They said they're not trolling, so I assume that was you. Huh? Oh.
Oh, wow.
I'm flying on there.
Anyway, moving on. Lovely to have you here, baby. Love you as always. So yeah, great Invincible, great X-Men, and once again, everybody that has a negative thing about a female Silver Surfer, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourselves.
At least go watch the movie and let the movie be done before you can make your judgment anyway.
Yeah. Go
watch it before you fucking judge.
And stop being insecure little cunts. Okay? Be secure in yourselves and live life. Okay?
There you go.